I lost my mother to hepatitis C 5 years ago. She was only 57 years old. Today I'm going to talk about that experience and give you some thoughts and suggestions that may help you deal with a similar loss. Welcome back to 1 Hour Shower, where relationships are saved from the drain. My mother was an awesome woman. She raised me on her own as a single mother, and that's not easy to do. She had help from her parents, my grandparents, but she worked hard to raise me the right way. She worked a full-time job, she paid for the rent, and she even found time to date. And the guys that she dated were awesome. They were nice to me and they were nice to her, and that's what was important. In 1986, when I was 2 years old, my mother had ovarian cancer and she had surgery down in Florida where I was born. During that surgery, which was a very invasive surgery, they gave her a blood transfusion. In 1986, they weren't testing for hepatitis C in blood transfusions yet. They had just started testing for HIV. At the time, my mother obviously didn't know she got it. She found out in 1993 that she had hepatitis C. She went for routine blood work, and when it came back, they told her she had hepatitis C. She tested me and I didn't have it, which led her to realize that it was the blood transfusion she had when she had cancer. And I'll tell you, when I was young, I didn't realize my mother had a chronic illness. She handled it with grace. She never let on that she was sick or would one day be sick. She was just so tough, just such a trooper. She never let it slow her down. In September of 2011, my mother began getting very sick. Her legs were very swollen. So swollen that she went into the hospital. When she got to the hospital, they told her that she needed a new liver. There was a phone call made to me in which they told me that she was going to receive one. So I went to bed that night and I said my prayers, and the next morning I got up and I found out that she did not receive that liver. There were complications with the donor and it just never happened. A couple of days after that, my mother developed an infection in her body and she could not get rid of it. She could not kick that infection. That infection spread throughout her body and she became septic and she passed away. And it was incredibly difficult. It still is obviously very painful to even think about. I'm sharing this story with you because I want to help you or someone you know deal with loss or grief. I'm still dealing with it to this day. It's a lifelong thing. I'll always miss my mother. I'll always love my mother. I didn't realize just how much her illness was affecting me. It was affecting my personal relationships. It was affecting my behavior at work. It was affecting my sleep. It was affecting what I said, what I did. If someone had asked me in 2011, hey, are you okay? Are you handling everything okay? I would have said, of course I'm handling everything okay. It's work that's bothering me, or it's my friends that are bothering me, or it's my relationship that I'm having a hard time with, when in fact it was actually my mother's illness that was causing me all the stress. Which brings me to my second point, which is seek out help. At my job, I have something called Employee Assistance Program. What they did was they referred me to a therapist in my town and they sent me to her. I began seeing her in 2011 and I've actually been seeing her ever since. What's important about that is making sure you seek out help. If it's from a friend, that's great. If it's from a colleague at work, excellent. If it's from your partner in life, I would suggest, on top of seeking out friends and family, to also seek out a professional therapist. They will help you. Make sure that you accept all the love that you will be receiving. You're going to receive support and you're going to receive love and you're going to receive encouragement. Be open to accepting that. It may be difficult to hear because hearing positive things in a negative moment, if it's negative to you, will be difficult, but it's important that you accept that. You will receive an outpouring of love. I know I did. Some of my friends cooked food for me. I remember one of my friends, the best man at my wedding, actually had me to his house. Him and his wife invited me over for Thanksgiving and Christmas that year. My mother passed away in September, so in November and December it was still very fresh and I was alone. And I'll never forget that. And make sure if you receive love like that, you accept that. Go easy on yourself. There's no such thing as handling it too fast or too slow, or not crying enough or crying too much. Try your best not to compare them to something you've seen before or a story you've heard before. Your life is your life. Your loss is your loss. It's what you make of it, and there's no right or wrong in that. Do what makes you feel good. If that means playing video games, play them. If it means going outside and playing basketball, go outside and play basketball. If it means going to the mall with your friends, go to the mall with your friends. It will help your body's chemistry. You'll actually release oxytocin, which will help you feel better. A piece of them will always live on through you, always. Do not, I repeat, do not do drugs or drink alcohol. That's incredibly important because it'll only make you feel worse. Make sure you get good sleep. I made a video called How to Fall Asleep Easier. Watch that if you're having a hard time. Again, like I said earlier, don't go hard on yourself. If you're not sleeping right, it's okay. Everything, including sleep, will get easier. Don't stay inside too much by yourself. It's okay to be alone at some point, but it's also important that you get out. Push yourself to get out. Tell your friends, don't let me say no. And even if that means they come over to your house and get you and just take you out, don't let anyone take advantage of you. When my mother passed away, I was in an incredibly vulnerable position. And there were people in my life who wanted things. They wanted her car, pictures in the house, plants. They wanted knickknacks. When my mother passed away, I became the owner of the house we lived in. And there was even one member of my family who discussed contesting that ownership in court. Also tell your friends to look out for you, to protect you. They should do that without you having to tell them, but let them know because they may not have experienced loss. And coming from someone who experienced it, you're very vulnerable and the people around you might want things from you, or they may take advantage of you while you're down. Everyone around you has experienced loss at some point in their life. When you take a moment to share your story with someone, they're going to share theirs with you, and they may need support just as much as you need it. And finally, like I said earlier about keeping them alive and how they're always going to be alive through you, do that for the rest of your life. At my wedding, my wife had a bouquet with my mother's picture on it, and the picture was actually my mother from her wedding day back in 1984. I also took some of my mother's ashes and put them in the soil around this tree in my backyard. It's the tree that was right near us when we got married. We got married in my backyard. When you're grieving, you can seek out that person's friends or that person's former lovers or current employees. When they share their memories with you, it's going to make you remember memories of your own. I hope this video helped you guys. You also learned a little bit about me. My mother's been gone for 5 years now, and I think about her all the time. I love my mother, and I'm always thinking, damn, I wish my mother was still here. I wish you could see this. It just sucks that she's gone. It's very frustrating. If you want to send me a message, feel free to do so. When I get a chance, I'll respond to you, or I'll make a video responding to you. I am by no means an expert in any of this stuff. I just like talking about it. And if there's anything that I say, anything, even one thing that's going to help you guys out just a little bit, that makes me happy and that makes this channel worth everything I do and everything I put into it. As always, thanks a lot for watching. Make sure you guys subscribe, thumb this video up, and hey, call me. I got a Google Voice number down below. Until next time, this is 1 Hour Shower. Peace out.